Happy Friday, good people. Back on Friday Live. Truly good time, not a long time, as I always say before I go and get my flowers for 200 years. But happy Friday. Good to see you. I am in the middle of cooking a bunch of food as a true modern old lady. Portia Oshimare here. Um, Coming at you live for our normal Friday series. Come and have a bit of a chat. I thought I was gonna go live last Friday, but then it was Juneteenth, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. What do we think we were doing that? I hope you had a great Juneteenth. I hope you had a really fantastic solstice last weekend. I hope you had a pretty good week this week. I know I really feel like this week was a fantastic week to wrap some things up. Like our good sister Channy said on the Monday podcast for the week ahead. If you are a Channy podcast fan, I was listening to her on Monday talk about that. There's like not as much going on this week, so it's a great opportunity to like clean some stuff up. So I've really been feeling that. I've really been feeling that, and it's been, at least for me, such a week of visiting and fun things, and absolutely um, par for the course of what I want to talk about today in regards to kind of how things are landing for the summer. I always do a bit of a like channeled message for how I think the summer is going and some things that I want us to be thinking about. And so, since this is kind of the vehicle for communication at the moment, I'm going to put some of that stuff here, and some of that will be kind of like an invitation of things that we're going to talk more about. Oh, bitch, why did I just realize that my mic may be attached to something completely different? Hold on a second. Hold, please. Headphones. See, this is what happens when the producer people be doing producery things.
Let's make sure your audio is.
Let's says that this is the mic, but it was pointing this way, and it was attached to these headphones. So I don't know if you heard the first part. Mm-hmm. No.
It should be Samsung.
Oh, but maybe it's not using it anyway. Hold, please.
I don't know. So this is in here. It's fine.
Oh, I have no idea. I know it doesn't even look like it's an option.
Oh, it's getting you. You're good.
Okie dokie. Well, someone's hearing me somewhere. Anyway, what was I saying? People hanging out, having a good summer. I can't even remember what I was saying. See, this is what happens. Doing too many things on a Friday. But anyway, I think the main thing that I was mentioning and wanting to mention is that I want to talk a little bit today about the kind of summer that we're likely to have, and that I want us to be prepared for as we're going into summer as business owners who are out here in the world wanting to have a real good, get some real impact in what it is that we do, make some great money while we do it, have a good time while we do it. And this is really a conversation of today. Maybe I was telling you how my week was, and that's probably because I was going to ask you, how's your week? How was your week? It's the check-in. How are you feeling since the solstice? The solstice also being this really interesting opportunity now that we're in June, right? 6 months into the year, a fantastic opportunity to do some reflecting of where are we, It's been 6 months in. How are you feeling about where you are? Where are you? How are you feeling about where you are? How has the first half of your year been? And then how was your week? I want to know both. Let me know in the chat if you're in the replay gang. If you're listening live, I would love to know if you feel like sharing, but that is the conversation to contemplate. Let me make sure that I can see the chat because last time I couldn't. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So much going on this summer that I'm excited to chat about. I'm just about to get into the podcast studio. Hi there, Robbins. Good to see you. I can see your face. I'm just about to get into the studio with the other ladies who we do our State of the Season podcast together, Jennifer Bond, Ilona Pamplona, and Kira Buckley. We're just about to kind of get ourselves together and get oriented on Monday to record summer's podcast. So there'll be lots to come in regards to what we see for the summer energetically, kind of what channels about the kind of summer that some folks are having. Ilona will come and give us some of the astrological weather for the summer to chat about. Usually Kira and Jennifer will kind of talk to us about how we can care for our health, our capacity, our wellness, our beingness, as we navigate kind of what's coming for the summer. So more to come as we get into the dates, but some things I'm interested in chatting about, you know, from the sky, this whole conversation around Chiron moving from Aries to Taurus. Ooh, honey, do I have a Chiron journey and the up level that is going to be happening with embodied healing over the next 7 years. My practitioners, this means that there's likely going to be some expansion in your business in the next couple of years. And my people who do hands-on work that feels like healing, whatever that looks like, healing workplaces, healing the way that people show up to their operating systems, healing learning and teaching, whatever element that you have with which anything that you do may be considered a salve, a balm, a healing to something that feels wounded in any way. You are likely to get some business expansion as Chiron moves into the planet of material things. As well as this means that a lot of the healing that we have been doing as a collective that was about who we are and what we are for and what values, you know, maybe even we stand for, and what we want in the world, those conversations become embodied in the next 7 years, right? So you may not even be in the practitioner set, but you may be in the set of embodied healing, of taking what you say with your mouth and putting it into the soma. So definitely looking forward to talking a little bit about that over the course of the summer. It's something I'm looking forward to the summer. We're coming into Mercury retrograde season next week. So with all of this interesting kind of reorienting and big planet shifting, big communal, collective, societal changes shifting, Mercury retrograde will give us an opportunity over the next couple of weeks to stop, revisit, and reimagine. It's kind of gorgeous that it's coming right after the solstice, which is already this interesting invitation to see, you know, 6 months into the year, do the things that I thought matter still matter to me? Do I still want what I said I want? You know, have I been on track to the things that really matter to me? And I think I have the interesting kind of, for me, it's, I always want us to be leaning in where there's resistance. I think oftentimes people can over discipline. I think there's a time and a place for everything, and discipline there's a time and a place for. But oftentimes when we get off track, in some cases, it's because we haven't grown enough acumen or routine or muscle to come back to something over and over. But in most cases, I find it's because something is out of alignment. And so this may be a place to look, you know, what's in alignment, what's out of alignment. Usually Mercury retrograde brings on its own little level of fuckery, tech-wise and other things, which tends to live a little bit like leaning on the creaky floorboards in your home, in your house, that lets us kind of see what's activating you, what's making you irritated. It may be an invitation to meet an unmet need, to reconfigure how we're going about doing something, to, you know, figure out that thing that we thought was perfectly planned has a hole and we really should address it. Mercury retrograde, I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks of that energy that's coming over the summer. I am also looking forward to Jupiter changing signs from Cancer into Leo. I've been hearing the astrology girlies talk about Jupiter in Cancer has been such this moment of us deciding what it looks like to expand care for ourselves, for our communities, for the local, for the neighbor, for the client, for the friend. And it seems to me like when Jupiter is moving into Leo, we're taking that care with us, and then we're seeing what care looks like expressed. For a lot of us that do service-based work in the world, this is also why, from an inside job perspective, you want to ground this energy. I want us to be celebrating this energy. I'll talk a little bit more about that later in actually this live. But I want us to be really embodied, grounded, well, so that we can really be receiving, because this is going to be a season where a lot of business expansion is available for a lot of the business models and archetypes that I'm talking to. A lot of my experts, my coaches, my consultants, my practitioners, It's go season. Your people are going to want to hear from you. It's a great opportunity to start something new and get it out into the world. That Jupiter in Leo is going to be fantastic for getting a message out and getting expressed. I think when I think about a perfect example of that has been this World Cup experience, right? Like, it's such an interesting thing to see what fans have looked like in Jupiter and Cancer, have been so caring. You know, oftentimes you see big sports events, you know, you can see things getting burned down and broken and fire in the streets and drama. And it can have this lens of not great chaos, not the yummy kind. This has been yummy chaos. It's like, you know, teams and countries that normally don't get together, you know, people figuring out that, you know, America is not as terrible as people thought. Like, the people are great. The government sucks, but isn't that everywhere? Be careful with the food. Go home and, you know, put your fucking regular system back together. But they're poisoning us, but here, you know, the people are great. Like, that has felt so care-centered, and the fact that it's plastered everywhere and everyone's talking about it. People who've never watched, you know, football, soccer, American soccer ever are like all of a sudden getting jerseys and expressing themselves in a new way. It feels so centered in this conversation, this hallway that we are in between Jupiter and Cancer, moving from Jupiter, moving to Leo, and getting ready to have that transition happen towards the later months of the summer. So as we get into, I want to say late July, early August, we're seeing some of those shifts. And then there's also a good bit of some other kind of crunchy astrology around to, again, to invite us to make sure that we're testing these structures and these values that we say that have changed, you know? I'm so inspired by thinking about the last couple of years in my own journey, and in the journey that I've been blessed to get to walk alongside with so many business owners and founders that are really doing the work in the world to care for the people. And there is we are different. We are different. We sitting on that thing different. We done been through some stuff. Something about getting kicked in the teeth consecutively for a while, like one after the other, has a different level of worn out strength sitting on people's shoulders. And a lot of you all have been having the experiences that we want you to be expressing and writing down and sharing with us so that we may be invited to an expanded level of ourselves. And I think this is going to be a very interesting season to see what art gets seeded in us as creators and founders and folks. It's gonna be an interesting season to see who writes a new book. I have so many of my friends are writing. Kira has been in my ass about saying I am writing, which is crazy work. Just like unexpected levels of expression feel really prominent this season. Last thing I would say I'm also really looking forward to over the summer when it comes to kind of astrological events is 888. There's something about Lionsgate that always resets me. I'm really looking forward to it. I will absolutely be chatting my face off as we get closer to August about that and preparing for that and utilizing that, particularly those of us who have do-good businesses, utilizing that as an amplification to launch us into a hopefully very impact-driven and lucrative fall. Because I can see that also got channeled to me in the horizons. Like, a lot of us have the opportunity to recoup a lot of the finances lost in summer and in fall of this year that were lost in spring and in winter and in fall of last year. So this is go season. And you know, like I know, if you were on my email list and you signed up for the huddle, or you're on my email list, I recorded some audios about the different areas of business and some things to pay attention to inside of your business for this summer as well, so that you're prepared for these energetics that are here and that are coming. So those are the things that I mainly am just so excited about and really thinking about as we come into this summer. There were a couple of notes that I did want to make sure to make as I was kind of thinking through how you can utilize the summer to the best of your ability. And one of those things, like I said, was being in a celebratory communal standpoint. You know how the summer runs. Outside is happening, whether your outside is 100 degrees like mine, or whether your outside is a digital outside, whether your outside is getting into family stuff, whatever it looks like. This is a great opportunity in the northern hemisphere of this country, or this world, to go be with the people because they are gathering. Even in the southern hemisphere. I feel like now they're gathering for like holiday times, right? So gather, go be with the people, utilize this energy to go and be with the people. And this is also a summer that I really want you all to celebrate something. Find something that you can be proud of yourself for either accomplishing, embodying, healing through, being brave enough to do. Find something that you can celebrate. And then do something tangible that celebrates that energy. It will refresh your tired cells. It will refresh the energetic warrior that has been running over the last couple of months and truly could use a break, could use a pat on the back, could use a thanks for doing it. Give your liver and your kidneys a little celebration, right? For holding us through this season of strife for so many of us. This summer, I want you to celebrate. And I've been telling everybody, I am having an OG Palmdale ass summer. Which, for those of you who never lived in Palmdale, looks like we gather together as often as possible for as little reason as possible. Oh, you was gonna go to the laundromat? Can I go with you? Oh, you wanna go fill your waters up? Won't you come over to my house? Oh, I'm making potato salad. Come on through. And being amongst people that you enjoy, parking lot pimping style, with very little money, very little overhead, very little reason to be together. You know, as for me and my house in Vegas, we're doing pickleball on Mondays. I've been having a monthly card party, minus tonight. So if you're local in Las Vegas and you have my phone number, please come over. I made potato salad, baked beans, black beans, cilantro lime rice, coconut rice and peas, coconut jerk chicken. I'm making some cream collards. We got burgers, links. Somebody bringing a salad. Someone's bringing chip and dip. Lindsay said she's baking something. It's a community affair. If you live locally in Las Vegas and you have my phone number, please come over. We're doing it the last Fridays now of the month when we're in town. We're in town this month. We may be in town next month. But that kind of shit is really what this summer is calling for. Gathering for the sake of gathering. One, because in and of itself, the energetics are here for that. So you may heal relationships you didn't think you need to heal. You may meet the person that you really need to meet. There's something serendipitous in the air about the kismet connections that could be made, but you're not going to make them if it's just you and the Zoom at the house without other people on the Zoom. Okay? 1. 2, it will do something to refresh the opportunities and the energetics of receiving in and around you. For whatever reason, I can feel that for a lot of you all, the energy is just super stagnant. It's like it's right here. I'm using my hands a lot. It's like next to my shoulders. I'm holding a box. I'm moving the box with my hands. Like it's this very tight, wound energy that if being around other people in general, even if you don't really know why you're around them, and you really enjoy them, that's what matters. Like being around people and doing things that you enjoy will break up that energy and start to work it like into your energetic field so that it becomes more magnetizing and more opportunities can come in. It can get stickier and start to kind of call more opportunities. It's almost like it wants to do that, but your engine is working in on itself. For a lot of you all, being around other people energetically is also going to do that thing. Very practically, this is a great opportunity to make opportunities, right? Meet the people, make a request, ask if you can get 6 degrees of separation up next to somebody who would really change the world for you and your life and your business, right? Celebrate something, make a memory with your kids and your family, right? That makes life worth living. This is a time to really do that work. Come in, Leticia, good to see you. Really, really a good time to do that work. I want you all to be in that series of celebration. The other thing that was really loud for me when it comes to celebration and actually enjoying your summer, Spirit showed me you get as good as you can feel. As much as you can allow yourself to feel joy is as much joy as you'll be able to get, right? As much as your arms can actually hold, as much as your spirit has capacity to expand into, is as much of the joy and the celebration as you're going to get. So this is also a summer for those of you all who have been emotionally constipated. That we want your emotions to be energy in motion. So this may also be a movement summer for some of you all. Some of you, it's trapped in the body. I know for me, Woo! I know I've got it trapped in the body. Thank God. Kira and McKenna are here from Costa Rica. McKenna Anderson laid some hands and did some fascial energetics work with me yesterday. And I was so shocked at how many just pockets of energy were just stuck in places. And I think we just pick that kind of shit up from going through shit, from really like hammering or really, putting our head down and getting something done or working really hard on things. You can just store, emotions that were unprocessed. This is a good summer to let that stuff go. Move your hips, shake some ass, move your shoulders back, let your body roll, go dance, go move, go play, right? Get some of that energy to be able to get the energy channels moving in your body again so that energy can continue to be in motion, and then you can be in your feels and you can feel your feelings. For a lot of you all, I don't want you to be mad at crying in the shower. And sometimes it's like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, everything's going wrong. I'm like, well, what's going wrong? Well, I'm crying every day. And it's like, well, maybe it's just that these emotions were waiting to catch up to you. And now you feel safe enough that they feel safe enough to be expressed. This could be a summer to let some space happen for that too. Two things can really be true. And oftentimes when we're in our greatest grief, are some of the most delicious celebrations, right? Or sometimes we're in our most celebratory moments. It's when the craziest things are happening. That is the time that we're in, is this mix of intense both and. This is a good summer to start to wrap your brain around those integrations, start to wrap your heart around what that means for you, start to wrap your mind around how that's showing up for you in your business and with your clients. Because as it's happening here, it's happening in the collective as well, which means that's going to be everyone that you're talking to for you and your business as well, okay? So you get as good as you can feel. Make sure you are increasing and being in right relationship with your capacity to do that feeling. Other things that were super loud to me was I wrote down that summer is for lovers. This is my last thing I really want to encourage you all to do. Nope, maybe two things. Two things to encourage you all to do. I really want you to re-fall in love with your people and then to re-fall in love with your stories. So it's kind of like a twofer. She's such a Libra. There's always a point A and a point B. Why do I say summer is for lovers? Spirit downloaded in me so heavy that this summer was a summer to re-fall in love with the things that really matter to us, the people that really matter to us, romantically, platonically, familially, business-wise, job-wise, organizational-wise, even politically. Think and find a moment to go, who really matters to me and why? What are things I really love, either about them or about the scenario? And how can you deepen your love? How can you have a lover girl summer with you and yourself and your environment? How can you make summer your lover this environment? I really want you all out and loved up and in your love, because again, there is something about being in that heart space, something about that fall in love energy that's not just for you and boo and whoever boo is. It is something that can paint the world, and it's going to be in it. I feel like we're going to feel like we're in like a little pink haze over this summer, that everyone's coming with a little lover girl energy. Everyone's coming with that, that desire to be kinder, sweeter, a little bit more compassionate, listen a little bit deeper, hold the hand a little bit longer, stay a little bit longer after the party just to talk one-to-one. That's the summer. That's the summer. And from a business perspective, I really want you to go be with where your community ecosystem is and go fall in love with them again and let them fall in love with you. Be seen to the people you need to be seen to so that they can also fall in love with you. That is your clients. That is potential clients. That's community collaborators, right? That's our catalysts, our organization. Who do you know that knows somebody at some organization that should bring you in to have a conversation with them? What lovely little experience can you have together? What little meet cute? What little coffee date? What little, can we sit together on the couch at the function? Lover girl energy. I can feel it on me, and I can feel it for a lot of you all are wanting and craving, and this would be a good time to do it. This is kind of the point of, using the energy that you have around to use what you got to get what you want. Like the good people said, okay? In that, what I also kind of added to point B was when you are in these lovey spaces, I want you to be thinking about your stories and cultivating the stories that make you who you are, that dictate your values, that talk a little bit about how you became who you are, the stories that made you, and share those with your lovers. It was so cute. When Kira and McKenna were here over the weekend, me, Parshell, Kira, McKenna, Bird, we're looking at like old high school pictures, and you know, I'm grateful that I just made the cusp at existing at a time where most of my life was not on the internet. So I was like, I don't really have pictures. I did things, but we didn't stop to take a camera picture. And if we did, we clicked it like this and then did one of these. And I had those printed somewhere 5 houses ago. But it was so great to go down memory lane and remember, like, oh yeah, meeting these people and doing these things is how I made this decision that led to me being over here. Oh yeah, this is how I learned this expertise. So this is how I actually figured out how much I love this group of people. Those stories, those like almost like being around a campfire stories, shared amongst people that you love in celebration of life itself this summer, you know, and the simple things. That feels like the culmination of everything that I want for you in this summer, wrapping it kind of all around. That is, and I think if you don't put it on the calendar and plan it, you won't have it. You, whoever you is that I'm talking to, that always makes plans for everybody else but ain't got no plans for themselves, right? That's making sure that their baby is gonna have the summer of their life, but you ain't having the summer of your life in 10 years. Since your baby got here, whoever that is, it's for you, right? You have to plan it. You have to actually go outside. You have to actually make a plan to go outside, right? You got to go meet new people, or you got to go connect with old people, or whatever it looks like. It's going to take action. It's going to take choice and agency for you to choose to have this great summer. But I want you to do it. I want you to do it, and I know that you can. And I want you to do it in as much capacity as it looks like for you. That may look like you get 1 day in 3 months. Well, damn it, that 1 day is better than the 1 day you didn't have. It may look like you plan something for yourself as often as once a week, or you give yourself 15 minutes of Lover Girl energy a day. Whatever it looks like, whatever the routine, the protocol, and the process needs to look like so that you can actually have that. I want you to spend from now, June 26th, until July 1st getting it straight. Because come July 1st, I want you in the game. I want you executing on Lover Girl Summer. I want you executing on a celebratory summer. I don't want to hear why you can't. I want you to figure that out between the 26th and the 1st, okay? I have office hours today, so if it's me that you want to talk to about it, come on down. I'll be at office hours in the next here hour at 2 p.m. PST, so we can come and chat about it. It is also going to be our kind of combination with our Audio Genius Bar. So folks will be in there asking questions about audio and how they can leverage audio for their business, but I always have an open door policy to be able to answer any other questions for you and for your business and how you show up, how this summer actually shows up in business. What does this look like? You know, obviously I can get what this looks like at the Kiki, but what does it look like in my business? Got you. Happy to walk you through that, okay? In true old lady fashion, well, come in, Renee. I get to see you. In true old lady fashion, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and I gotta go because I got some greens soaking and I need to finish my second set of beans because that is what brings me joy. Having a house full of friends and making a Thanksgiving in the middle of the summer of cookout food is what does it for me. You know, that is me in full celebration mode. I was sitting there realizing, it's like, oh, you do this a lot. Like, you know, it's cookout season. For those of us who know, the cooks in the room that are like the cookout people, somebody asked me for a pop-up cookout in between planned cookouts, and I was like, bitch, I've been cooking out every weekend. Like, ooh, this is getting up there. And I had a moment. I was like, you know, some people buy Jordans and be having bags and expensive cocaine habits. I can smoke weed and spend money on groceries. That's, you know, feed the people that I love. I can have that. I'm going to have that. And it's a blast. I'd be so excited. Making my little menus, getting my little grocery store together. There's a little group chat. People talking about what they're bringing. Renisha and Leticia know because they in the group chat. That is, it's truly my joy. And it's such like, I forget how much for me, cooking and creating a place where my people can exist is art for me. That is my version of paint on a canvas. Like the love that I get to put into the details and how excited I get about a new recipe, you know, and fixing little problems. Like I'm making jerk chicken today, and they only had the spicy jerk and not the mild jerk. And you making food for 20 people, I can't be burning everybody out like that. So I was like, ooh, what can we do about that? It's like, ooh, let me put a can of coconut milk in there. Maybe it will offset some of the spice, right? Put the little thyme and scallion up in there. I'm like, okay, maybe that may help. That kind of shit really does it for me. I truly am a modern day ancestor. I'm ancestoring as we speak. It don't make no sense because it ain't like I was like super raised with my grandparents. I came here old, but these are the kind of things that make me happy. So these are the things that I will be spending my afternoon doing. But these are also, I hope, an example of just refinding things that you've always loved to do, doing more of them, doing them with friends this summer. All right, my friends, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I see, come on, coconut milk in the chat. Hello. Look, we're gonna retch it around so you don't have to burn your tongue off eating this damn chicken. Because it's gonna be bomb and you're gonna want to eat it, but you're gonna be burning your mouth because it's hot. So a little something to break it up. A little something to break it up. I do want to tell you all, for those of you all who have been asking about office hours, we are finally almost ready to give you all the full rundown of what new is happening. We are transitioning our office hour frameworks over to our Genius Bar frameworks, and we are soft launching our very first Genius Bar, Your Business by Design, featuring the Ilona Pamplona and me as well, answering questions about how you do business in a way that you're more designed. Ilona will be tackling astrology and human design. I will be tackling wealth dynamics, contribution archetype, and contribution model. We will be having that on July the 2nd from 11 a.m. to 12:30. Our Genius Bars are really cool, very similar to office hours. You come in the beginning, we'll be having a conversation about what questions that we think would be smart to be thinking about, topics to contemplate, questions to ask, and then we'll go into separate breakout rooms and you'll be able to choose. You can pop in and hang out with Ilona for a while, come pop in and hang out with me, right? Ask questions of both geniuses. And so we will be launching more of those. We just got our calendar together this week, but our very first one is going to be on July 2nd. Keep an eye out for my bio. You will see a link over there to join those Genius Bars as early as Monday. It's at the same time that Ilona typically had her office hours. So if that's already on your calendar, same Zoom link, same spot, nothing new for you. But if you are new to community and new to this conversation, you will find that information in my bio on Monday. I promise I'll make a separate little Instagram post. So for those of you on YouTube, make sure you check out my Instagram. I'll make a separate little Instagram post with information directly about that Genius Bar next week as soon as we've got the links. All right, my friends, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have a good summer. Come back and check with me every Friday, 12:12-ish PST. I'll be here live talking about another aspect of this conversation. I'm really excited to get into Chiron stuff, so that may be next week or the week after. But then I also really want to get into Mercury retrograde stuff, and that starts next week, so we may be...